So I've talked in the past a little bit about how to add value to your multifamily property. So we all know adding curb appeal or renovating bathrooms and kitchens or increasing your income, seeing how you can reduce expenses. Those are all ways to add value to your property and increase your cash flow. But one way that you can now also use to add value to your property is adding an ADU. And if you don't know what an ADU is, that's an accessory dwelling unit. We did a whole webinar on it. And that's something that most people that own a home are aware of already, that you can add like a granny flat is essentially what it is. But in January of this year, you can now do that with your investment multifamily properties or investment single family properties. So basically the state of California is really pushing for all the cities to add housing. We have a serious housing shortage. So what that means is that there are a lot of incentives, at least in San Diego, but I know a lot of other counties, there are a lot of incentives for people who want to add ADUs. Not to mention that the process of getting those approved is quite a bit easier and more cost effective than adding an actual unit. So if I were going to build an actual unit and I wanted to get it approved as a unit rather than an ADU, that process would be quite a bit more extensive and probably take a lot longer. So as an example, I own a 30-unit building. That building, at some point, the owner converted what was the office space into an unpermitted studio. So we are currently going through the process of getting that approved as a legal ADU. So once I get that legal ADU approved and it's done, now I have a legal 30-unit building rather than a legal 29-unit building with what we call a bootleg or an unpermitted unit. So we have already verified with our lenders. Most of our lenders are going to accept the income on that ADU and they will count it as a unit. So that is really good news for apartment owners because you're gonna get that additional income counting towards for loans and also on a sale. So let's say that my building is worth $300,000 a unit, it would have been worth, that over 29 units. Now I've added, let's say, about $300,000 in value because I've got an approved ADU. They are, in some cases, there are rules you would need to talk to an architect, which we could refer you to, but there are cases where you may be able to add more than one ADU. So this is a huge opportunity in real estate right now, and I think it's a great way to add value to your property and a fairly cost-effective one, especially if you already have an unpermitted unit and you're looking to just get it approved as an ADU. So it's going to increase the value of your property, it's going to increase your monthly cash flow, and it's also just going to make the saleability of your property more attractive. I know that a lot of people are nervous about buying unpermitted units, so that is a deterring factor if you're looking to sell your property as well, that people may not want to buy it because they're nervous about the chance of having to convert that unpermitted unit back into whatever space it was or get rid of it. Therefore, they would lose that income. So it's also just a really good idea to do this if you have unpermitted units, to get them approved as ADUs. It's never been easier to get them approved, and it's going to add value, increase income, and allow a bigger buyer pool when the time comes for you to sell your property.